welcome to the free state of South Dakota. We're gonna do some pronghorn hunting today, actually this whole entire week. And I've done this in the past out in this country. It's awesome country, wide open plains. I love chasing pronghorn. They're super fun, tons of activity, tons of action. It's usually like a legitimate desert out here. It's actually rained today. It's probably only rains a couple times in this area. They do a lot of irrigation, but the rain is really sparse. I mean, it's a good thing for the animals, but it might be tricky for the hunting. It might disperse the antelope a little bit more. Usually they have to go to the water holes. I don't like hunting over the water holes anyways. Usually I like to spot and stalk them. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the season openers tomorrow. And we're gonna start the season by spot and stalking antelope with my bow and arrow. I've done this in the past with my brothers. We've had a ton of fun doing it. We just have all kinds of shenanigans out here. This year I've got Patrick with me to follow around and bring my brothers out here next year. But yeah, let's go get a pronghorn. All right, we just left the house that I wanted to ask permission, and we've got permission. It's actually descendants of Laura Ingalls Wilder, if you've heard of those books. I've hunted on their place a couple other times in the years past. They homeschool, they're an awesome family, and we've got permission. It's a huge relief. Not only was that a relief, actually, when we were first driving out here, we were not seeing any pronghorn. And then literally we come over this hill and we get to the property, and there's like a herd of 20 of them on their land. And they were crossing underneath a fence between the land we can hunt and the land that we do not have permission on. And I mean, there was a ton of them out there, maybe even 30 or 40 to be honest. What do you think, Pat?
I'd say, yeah, probably close to like 30.
I mean, I was literally starting to sweat because like we drove all the way out here, we were not seeing antelope. We saw one antelope buck, which was exciting, but then it kind of fizzled back out and that's all we saw. And then we get to the property that I wanted to hunt, that I've hunted in the past, and boom, just little white rumps everywhere out there, and they were crossing a fence. So I think what we're gonna do tomorrow morning, we're gonna wake up early and just go out there in the dark and set up on this fence crossing and just go from there. Like sit there, hopefully they start crossing underneath that fence and we can pick out a nice buck and we can find enough cover to hide behind and pull the bow back. And if we can't, we'll just look around and see which ones we can try and sneak up on. There's some ravines and some gullies out here, ditches that you can kind of get in, and then you sneak up on them and try and shoot them. So see you tomorrow morning. Man, there's wildlife everywhere in this area. You're gonna love it. Holy cow. Those are all bucks, dude. 2, 4, 6 bucks. They're all mule deer. Watch them do the prance thing. Boing, boing. Just for context, people, this is literally right on the edge of where our hunting area is, the property we have permission on, so it's a good sign. First day seeing wildlife. We got up at 5 o'clock. It's a little late to be getting up, but it's a long day yesterday, so we're coming out in the daylight, setting up. Normally we'd probably get out here in the dark. Wildlife everywhere. I see a pronghorn there. We got a herd of deer on this side of the road. We got a herd of bucks on this side. We got pronghorn on this side. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. This is what the antelope love. They're always looking for these fence crossing. So there's just a spot here where the fence got a little tangled up. And there's a cow path going underneath this thing. There's literally cows in this field too, speaking of cow paths. But the cows, they don't go through these little gaps. But the antelope, they shoot through these. Shoot. Bummer. It's gonna be a long day of sitting, waiting for them to come back. Oh well, tomorrow we'll be out here in the dark. They're way up by that electrical station up there. Let's keep going. Here's where they've been cutting. Some good clearance here. There's a big trail. And then it looks like they just disperse out here or follow this fence line. So we're gonna actually walk back to these cattails, and I'm gonna just see how far away that is and find a spot to sit up in there. It's memorable because you see this green fence post here. All the other fence posts are red, and then we got this one green one. We saw this from the road yesterday with the spotting scope. There we go. I'm actually gonna start by keeping this on there because we're kind of exposed in this spot. We'll see. And if this spooks him off, then I'll just try without it, but we're so exposed here. Look at this monster broadhead. It's a cutthroat broadhead. It's a beast. All right, get ready to roll. It's just a waiting game now. Boy, that was cool. Figured they would do that. Too bad. It's nice to have those decoys sitting out here. They're always on the move. So we had our first pronghorn encounter. They came in, they crossed the fence down there about 100 yards, worked up behind us. We didn't want to swing the camera because they went pretty quick and then they disappeared, and all of a sudden they just popped up 30 yards away. They saw us. They hung around a little bit, but not enough time to swing the camera on them, and then they ran over to that fence line. There's a buck. Beauty. Good timing. Just looking at them females. Beauty. Heck yeah. Boy, I hope he follows the fence line over here. He's going the wrong way. Oh, that's good though. You see those two? Okay, good. Oh, it's bucks, dude. 2 bucks. Let's see how far away they are. 70 yards. One's 84, one's 70. That worked out better than I thought. At least they didn't immediately bolt. Clearly are moving around. 70 is just a shade out of my range. That was perfect, dude. I think it'll hold them still just long enough for me to get my bow back and shoot. They know something's not quite right. This head pops out of the hole. It's a badger. They're totally legal to shoot here. People want us to shoot him. The landowner told us to shoot him if we saw any, because their horses break their legs on the holes. Now, of course, just when we were about set up to shoot him, put its head back down. So I'm gonna try and squeak at him and try and get him to come up again and get a shot. Let's see what happens. Hard to say how far down he is. Might not be able to hear us. Oh yeah, we got the other 3 popped out over here. Oh, it's perfect decoy, man. These bucks are gonna want to go over this way. The badger's out walking around. Everything's happening on. This is some crazy drama. I want to see him I want to see those antlers just flip him up in the air. There's three bucks. Yeah. Angle for getting these things. If I have to shoot, I have to be on that side. I don't know. We're gonna have to do something. I mean, I think they're gonna give us time now that they're out here. I just thought they were gonna book it over here to those females. They look like they're 120 yards now. 140. I'm gonna just stay hidden as much as I can. I'll let you just film. And then I'll give them the old deer when they're in range. So that distracts them long enough for me to get on them. 130. Another 10 steps, that's good. If we had a gun, this would be like the easiest shot of all time. We literally have an hour of shooting light. It says it's 7:36 and we can go till 8:30. I think it's another coyote doesn't come out or something weird.
70. Shot, but just hold still. They're actually walking back toward us. Dude, something went weird and the arrow went like sideways. It was like a weird curveball. I have no idea what happened, but I'm gonna try and get another one. He's shaking his neck like I hit him in the neck. I just popped my head over there and they were working this way. Okay. Yeah, I got one like 80 yards away over here. I'll just be patient if he comes out in front here. Yeah, that was not cool. That was really frustrating. He was close, dude. Again, I wish I knew how far he was, but all three of them gone. The alert is over here. There's like a ton of them. They must have came from across the road and we just weren't paying attention. That's good. Golly, dude. Oh, he's definitely got hit. But he got hit like sideways with the arrow. I mean, they're feeding, like all three of them are feeding, so I know it's not wounded. About 70, 60 yards from him. Just walking up with the deer. That worked way better than I thought, dude. Wide open. They looked at me twice and went back to feeding. But they wouldn't let me close the gap. It's a good time to pack and then I'll go grab that other arrow. That was super weird. I don't know what happened. We'll have to watch the replay. I mean, it's 20-mile-an-hour wind and we're in some hay bales. What may have happened was the arrow came out and hit that wind and went sideways. It looked like it literally went into the pronghorn sideways some weird way. And you couldn't see it on the video, but I crawled up and looked at the binoculars. I mean, they're fine, they're feeding. And he was like shaking his head a little bit after he got hit, so I think I hit him sideways. Bizarre. We'll be back after him. We'll definitely be using this deer decoy quite a bit more. Especially if we can get like really close to him first and then come out instead of just walking right out across an open field. That was crazy.
Now I can finally talk because we've been sitting here for 5+ hours. We've been sitting on these hay bales. And you can see there's like these little cracks in there. We were sitting between some of those and just looking out, waiting for pronghorn. We knew they were going to come in here this evening because they were here last night before hunting season opened. Sure enough, they came out. I mean, he worked into about 40 yards and I took a shot and you saw it. I mean, the wind caught it. So we were in a hidden spot, I think, and the wind caught the arrow and threw it sideways in a real weird way. I'm not exactly sure. Pronghorn is just fine. He shook it off. He kept feeding. In fact, I almost snuck up on him again with the deer decoy. You saw it, so crazy. See you tomorrow.
Man, those
buggers, they came right in. He just kept coming. He's coming in high because I think I misjudged the distance, and he kicked down.
He hit his horn.
And it pierced his ear a little bit. Look at how far he kicks down too. I think you're right. I maybe chipped his horn or chipped his ear. I think I misjudged the distance, and it dipped down. Yeah, he turned and dipped down. Wow, look at that. I was so disappointed because I knew there's no way. All right, you saw the shot. Super frustrating. It's actually kind of good news though. I thought the arrow came in like a knuckleball with the wind. It actually didn't. It came in pretty straight. I think I misjudged the distance. I thought the pronghorn was 40 yards, and I think he was probably 30, maybe even 20, honestly. So I was coming in high, and I didn't factor that much down kick, but he also moved his head over, and I think he saw the red light on my knock coming in at him, and he tried to like fend it off. The other thing that was way interesting is I'm wearing a continuous glucose monitor, and it measures your blood sugar in real time, and I just scanned that in. You can see I didn't actually eat anything around the time when the pronghorn came in, but my blood sugar shot up to 95, which is clearly adrenaline. So when those antelopes started coming in, my adrenaline obviously came in. And then there's a little spike at around 8:30 at sunset when we walked out. Just thought it was interesting too. Let's go hunt some more. All right, we're on some public land here. It's howling wind, 30 miles an hour, but we saw some pronghorn. We saw them actually this morning. We were kind of just driving around looking at some of these walk-in areas, and I knew they'd be around this area, and sure enough, we walked over a hill. You can barely see them. They're so far away you won't be able to see them on the video, but what we're gonna do is we're actually backed out. We're gonna walk around this hill, and there's like a little ditch over there. We're gonna try and get up to there and move over towards the fence because they usually walk these fences. So let's see, I know there's at least one buck in this group, and it's a group of like 8 or 9. Let's go get them. Nothing so far. All right, failed stalk. They saw us from literally like a half mile away, so we're gonna try something else. It happens, that's just how it is with these things.
Right past the red sign where the...
Okay, we're back in our bail spot. Ripping wind again today. We see two doe, like a doe and a fawn, kind of just over there, and then 2 bucks. And all of a sudden there's like a massive herd of them. They cross the road. 5 of them are bucks. 6, 7, 8, 9. Dude, we have 9. There's 9 bucks over there. I've never seen that many pronghorn bucks together. Never. Did you count 9 as well? I mean, something like that, right? So we had 10 bucks come in, I think. I think that was the total. I mean, 9 or 10, it was crazy. It was the most pronghorn bucks I've ever seen in one group. 223 yards away for probably a full hour. Eventually they kind of just dispersed. They ended up milling around and crossing the road just as it was getting dark here. So we're gonna wrap it up, come back tomorrow, try it again.
All right, since the pronghorn have been coming into this hay field and working around these bales, I'm gonna actually make a bale blind from scratch. Don't have any other choice. We just bought some chicken wire at a local lumber store, and I collected 3 contractor bags of old hay, and now I'm gonna go down to the field and in a little grove of trees and weave this into the chicken wire. It's not gonna be easy. I already started doing it and it's hard, but the best opportunity, I think, for getting these antelope. Right. So for those of you who like to see people torturing themselves, this clip is for you. It's 100 degrees out here, and I've got a fanny pack that even Joe Rogan would laugh at just to contain all the water and everything else I have. And I've spent the last 4 hours weaving this grass or this straw into chicken wire. It's the only thing they had available at the store. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. We've got our hay bale blind. Next time you find one of these things for sale on the internet, make sure to buy one so you don't have to make them. But I think it looks okay. Let me just set my gear down. Now, by the way, this here is actually a decoy. Pronghorn are very curious animals, and if you put out like a Ziploc bag on a tripod like this, or not a Ziploc, a Walmart bag, just a trash bag, they usually come up and take a look at it, and it at least distracts them from that blind I just made. So let's set this here, jam it into the dirt a little bit. Hope it doesn't tip over too much. My decoy, and again, that's not really going to draw them in, but at least it'll buy me a little extra time. And let's just circle this hay bale. Now every night they come across this gate, they actually cross the road, which is crazy because that guy doesn't let anybody hunt on his property. They cross here, they come out here and feed, and they usually go up to that bale, and you can see the bale pile we've been hunting, which is like right there. So they've been coming out into this field and not coming up to that bale pile. So every single one that's come out has come by this beast, this bale. Gonna give you the 360 here. It's pretty wild, and hopefully the next scene is us drawing the bow back. I'll keep the GoPro running for you. Patrick zooming in, nailing a 20-yard shot or a 40-yard shot. They might be a little too suspicious. All right, let's do this. Let's get hunting.
There's a bunch of them. I saw at least 4. Setup works. They're all feeding, right? That mom is the hardest one to fool. If she stands out here consistently, we're decoyed up. I don't see anything else yet. The buck's over there. We'll see these ones from a mile away. It's great. That worked out perfectly. I mean, we're not going to get a lot of time, but a buck is going to be just like that, like a little nervous, but happened fast, just like I thought. So glad they didn't spook. And she even walked over and looked at the bag pretty close. this.
All right, today is Sunday. We've been out here since last Friday. So we've hunted 7-8 days. And honestly, that very first day was by far the best day when that buck came up the hill. I got a shot off. I misjudged the distance, unfortunately. They're a little smaller than you would think. There's no excuses. I should have made that shot. It's really frustrating. I knew it was going to come back to bite me. It's hard to get close to these things. We had a great time. We saw does virtually every single day, as you saw. Most days when we saw the does come out from a distance, the bucks would follow them out. And when we had does come within 20-30 yards, we were just hoping the whole time, like, oh, where are the bucks? Where are the bucks? And really, I've shot a pronghorn doe before. I was really trying to get a buck, so I'm not disappointed. You know, I do want to get a buck. I'm gonna come back next year, probably to the same area. I'm gonna improve by getting a bail blind. I'm gonna improve by getting a decoy. I think those two things would really help. I've seen multiple times here on this trip where the pronghorn bucks will run up to the does and sniff them and things like this, and they'll go way out of their way to interact with each other. A couple improvements and I think we'll have this made, but for now I hope you enjoyed. I mean, we saw so much wildlife on this trip. It was a blast. It was really fun to get up every morning and just know almost for sure you're gonna see wildlife. Even this last day we had a doe about 35 yards away. Just every day we've seen activity. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Talk to you soon.